Hi everyone, I'm Lamiya KK from Department of Computer Science. Today I'm going to talk about program properties of flowchart symbols for designing application programs. In order to write computer programming without any logical error, it is recommended programmers prepare a rough writing showing the steps involved in the program. This is called an algorithm. An algorithm represents step-by-step instruction required to solve any problem. These steps can be shown diagrammatically using a flowchart. What is a flowchart? Flowchart is a symbolic or diagrammatic representation of an algorithm. It uses several geometrical figures to represent the operations and arrows to show the direction of flow. Programmers often use it as a program planning tool to solve a problem. It makes use of symbols which are connected among them to indicate the flow of information and processing. Flowcharts are very helpful in writing program and explaining program to others. Now let's talk about the benefits of programming flowchart. When it comes to understanding programming or a logical structure, programming flowcharts are the best way of working. When a designer is creating program, there can be certain loopholes that can hinder the progress. To avoid that, they can design the app or website with programming flowcharts before working on them. The engineer working on the debugging process can look at the programming flowchart, making it easier to debug the program. For reviewing a program, the designer may need to look at the programming flowchart. They can analyze the program with the help of the logical diagram of the flowchart and then modify it as per their requirement. The engineers can also use flowcharts as a way of documenting their program correctly. As programming flowcharts work as blueprints, it is time efficient while creating a new program of application. Drawbacks of programming flowcharts. When it comes to complex programming, drawing the programming flowchart can be difficult for designers. As there is no standard of using details, the programming flowchart may confuse the individuals working. If the designer is trying to make a pre-existing programming flowchart or application, they may find it tough to reproduce. If an engineer tries to modify a flowchart based on modifying the said application or a website, it can be challenging. So now let's talk about the program flowchart symbols. For creating a programming flowchart, the user needs programming flowchart examples. The flowcharts use diagrams to express an algorithm, and hence flowcharts are very helpful in creating and analyzing the details of a program. The flowcharts use some symbols that can explain the logic of programming connected with the flowchart elements. Here are some widely used programming flowchart symbols. First one is flow line. These symbols work as a connector in a programming flowchart. This line shows the logical flow and relationship among the various steps or elements of the programming flowchart. The flow lines run between each step starting from the two terminals to denote the flow of logic. The second one is terminal. The terminal symbols present in every programming flowchart as the process starts with a start command and a stop command shows the end of the whole process on the flowchart. The example also has both the start and end symbols represented by a rectangular sign with curved edges to signify the beginning and end of a programming flowchart procedure. And the next one is input or output. The commands of input and output in operation are most crucial. To get a logical flow to go through the processing, the user needs to give input. The system reads the input to give an output. The symbols for inputs and outputs are parallelograms. The next one is processing. For a process to complete successfully, the method must include the function of processing. The processing part occurs between the input and the output. The rectangle shapes represent the processing work. The next one is on-page connector. When there is a need to connect different flow lines, on-page connectors are present at the junction. Off-page connector. The off-page connectors connect different flow lines when they present on separate pages. The next one is decision. When there is a need to decide between true or false, this function gets used. The diamond-shaped symbols are useful when the function is taking a series of decisions to get the result. The next one is predefined process or function. When a group of some statements performs a predefined work, its representation occurs with a symbol. And the last one is document. This symbol denotes the printout or report. Here are some examples of flowcharts in programming. In conclusion, the use of flowchart symbols in designing application programs enhances the development process. It promotes clarity, aids in identifying decision points, and facilitates a systematic representation of the program's logic, fostering efficient communication among the developers and stakeholders. So that's all for today. Thank you.